Master, what is my destiny?
MI7 wants you on the first flight back to London. Only then can you be reborn.
Johnny English Reborn, which is a good title because Rowan Atkinson's face looked like Afterbirth, man. That dude, somebody, people still giving that dude man,
Johnny English regurgitated?
Yeah, it's just something about this dude, man.
Does that remind you of Placenta?
Yeah, I mean, because I like the guy, but I just don't like looking at him. He's always got those big nostrils. I think he's just blowing out boogers all the time. He's got that wet bottom lip that just continues to stick out. Like he should have a slobber cup underneath
that
his
guy
face.
is a walking, living cartoon.
He is a cartoon.
I think they even made a cartoon.
They made a Mr. Bean cartoon.
There you go. Yeah, because when I saw that, I was like, wow, his face looks exactly like that cartoon face. And he should have came out of his mom's vagina as a cartoon.
Well,
his face looks like a vagina. What you talking about?
No, when you see him in person, he really does look like that toucan from The Lion King.
You know what he looks like? He looks like a mentally ill Rodney Dangerfield.
He does kind of look like that.
I think he looks
With the
like
buggy eyes.
Yeah.
more like he'd be the older brother of Andy Serkis.
But I could see that
perfect.
too.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm sure Andy Serkis is listening to this. God damn it, don't throw my name in here, please. Please. I got a career.
Yeah, you get Rowan Atkinson to play something. You don't need no CG. He might be the next Andy Serkis for all we know.
He's going to be the new Gollum.
Yeah, shit. You won't. Yeah, you don't need CG for that. Just
Always going to be tripping over shit.
just get him down in a loincloth, shave his head a little bit. Yeah, he'll be all right. I can't believe that they're still giving this guy money to make movies. I know he did a Mr. Bean movie that got panned, right?
Well, it got panned. There's a difference between that and having made no money at all.
But did it make any money?
Well, I can only assume because they were talking about a sequel at one point.
Yeah.
But Bean internationally is a huge comedy thing, which just goes to prove that the rest of the world has learned nothing since Jerry Lewis. Bean is not funny at all. But that being said, like Rowan Atkinson has a long history of being in super funny stuff. Like Blackadder was just genius, where he got his big start. Any of those Secret Policeman's Balls or even some of the Python reunions that he came in and helped out with, he's always great in. There was a show that was a cop show.
Thin Blue Line.
Yeah, Thin Blue Line. That was really, really good.
like
But
that show.
Bean was so bad that it took all that goodwill.
You pissed a whole
away
bunch
from
of
it.
people off.
I don't
Pissing off
care.
a lot of old ladies.
People
out there.
love Bean.
I don't care.
When I was like,
It's
when I
terrible.
first discovered Bean,
I'll flick the bean.
It was kind of cool in that kind of black and white vaudeville, Laurel and Hardy kind of thing. It's like, okay, that's kind of neat.
It's a one-off joke, is what it is.
Yeah. It's like for about 12 minutes, it's enjoyable.
It's the only comedy probably that you probably sit down with your family and watch and not be offended. I mean, you really watching it, I was like, for a small point of time, it seemed like every time I flipped to HBO when I had that fucking channel, Mr. Bean was on like all the time during the day, and I was like, okay, wow, they must be going after that family market who's sitting at their houses with their Bibles watching this shit and laughing their asses off.
Yeah, somebody loves.
But why are y'all talking about Bean? Because this is Johnny English.
Well,
this is a character that can actually talk.
But somebody loves, Bean enough to where like they just saw versions of Mr. Bean and something else because. Johnny English is Mr. Bean just doing stupid spy stuff.
No,
I don't agree
beg
with
to
that at
differ.
all.
I didn't see the movie, by the way, so
No.
I haven't seen the
Didn't you
first
see
Johnny
the
English
first
on
one?
this.
You didn't see,
No.
no. Johnny English is really nothing like Mr. Bean, other than they're both, they're bumblers. But Johnny English is more like the Pink Panther.
Yeah, he's a lot more the
It's more like
Inspector
a Steve Martin.
But not funny.
But no,
Well, I
the
said
thing
the
is,
Steve
it's like,
Martin Pink Panther.
there is a big difference though as well. The Inspector Clouseau, whichever version, is entirely incompetent and succeeds just through luck. Whereas Johnny English actually has some real spy skills, but he has the worst luck in the world. So he's almost the polar opposite of Inspector Clouseau in that sense.
Kinda.
Because he'll like do stuff that you're like, oh, only a really trained spy could get away with that, and he does, but then he'll like his own ego will get the better of him and he'll fuck it all up.
It's kind of like he's such an English gentleman that there's a cloud of ignorance around him about seeing, like using common sense for seeing what's really going on.
Right.
But it's such a plot that has been used before
Absolutely.
and used to
Sure.
death, especially with that fucking cat and dog series, cat versus dog series. That I mean, looking at this, I'm like, wow, the studios right now are really trying to polish turds. Really? Because I mean, I don't remember shit about the first one. I don't remember anyone ever talking about it. And I just assumed, okay, it's just one of those movies that will be lost forever, and Rowan Atkinson will be always embarrassed about it.
See, that's what I thought. They talking about Johnny English is reborn. I'm like, I didn't even know he was born in the first place. I didn't know he existed.
Well, it's one of those like, how can you be reborn when it's the same old shit?
I mean, to be fair, it's a spy spoof, and there's not giant amounts of difference between the James Bond films either.
No, you're absolutely right about that. The thing about this movie is, I mean, do we have to go into the plot?
You know what? We just saw this, and I have a really hard time remembering what the actual plot was.
Let me see.
I mean, you don't have to go deep into it.
You correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, it was a
Johnny
Manchurian
English,
Candidate type of deal, I believe.
Well, not really. No, you're thinking about something else.
Maybe I can. I just read about it because I was like, "What the hell is this about?" And basically, he's been training in some foreign Asian land to be a martial artist, and now he's trying to save like some political Asian emperor or something from being assassinated.
What they find out is because of this big case that he fucked up years ago in Mozambique, where he basically went off in a hot tub with some hot chick who was an enemy spy.
Where the one time I was like, man, if I was James Bond, I would do this. He actually did that. He went off with the hot chick into the hot tub.
Right, and then the guy got assassinated. But by like his number 2 guy. So everyone was like, he was like, what was the odds of that happening? I don't even understand how that happened.
Especially when you look like Mr. Bean.
And it is a Manchurian Candidate thing, because the idea is that people who they can't figure out why they would ever do this are killing like important people and then are dying right afterwards. So of course there is like a drug involved that's making these people do this.
Well, there's also a conspiracy of I guess assassins from all the intelligence bureaus, CIA, MI7. Is there an MI7? I thought it only went up to 6.
I don't know.
Mr. Bean is so badass. He has his own division. Right? It went past 6.
I mean, a lot of it, as far as the Reborn goes, like whatever happened in Mozambique, it fucked him up. Yeah. So he had to do the cliche thing that all ex-spies do, which is go study in a monastery for a while. But it's like this case, they got to call him out of retirement for it. Bean, we need you. Now he comes back to MI7, and it's all corporatized now, and everybody's on iPods and using iPads.
You got Gillian Anderson with the English accent.
You've been away for some time, English. MI7 has come a long way since then. The guns, the fast cars, and the chauvinism are all on their way out. Frankly, I didn't want to see you back. You are everything I came into this service to change. We have a situation.
Indeed.
Gillian Anderson with the actual
I thought it
career.
looked like her, but I wasn't sure.
From the X-Files.
She looked better than she had in years. That's why I was like, is that really?
Well, that's because she was reborn too. So.
I think she finally hit that, I guess I'm going to get plastic surgery after all wall.
Okay.
Yeah. And look at that. I mean, she hasn't done anything in years. She's looking as good as she's ever been, and she's in Johnny English Reborn.
Well, don't worry, she'll be in X-Files Reborn.
Shit, this is an X-File. Like, what the hell has she been?
You got to restart somewhere.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, I guess after all this is said and done, he's trying to adapt to like the modern age now. He's trying
they play with that a little bit. I mean, mostly he comes in. First off, he's got a black intern. Who's sort of a fraidy cat, but he's new. He's a rookie.
He
he's
ain't
like,
looking all bug-eyed and everything. Oh, Bean, I ain't going in there.
Well, and with a British accent. But
It's not like at a Chris Tucker level.
I say, Bean, this house has show gone crazy.
Well,
it's one of those where he pronounces his TH.
He's almost kind of like one of the
F.
He's almost like one of the kids from Attack the Block who just got
exactly.
promoted to MI7.
But the worst thing about his character, it's not even that they bug-eye him, is that they make him more like he's a little scared and he doesn't really know what he's doing. But then all of a sudden, because it's convenient for the film, he knows how to fight and he's a badass.
Oh, okay.
Like there was no time pass. He goes, "Oh, this is fun."
Well, he's black, Cyrus. All black guys know how to fight.
true.
Come
Yeah,
on,
at some point, you know.
you're like them Chinese. or
All
whatever.
these white spies are suddenly like, "My wallet."
But I mean, like one scene, like look, it's a lot of the tired, just dumb jokes you see all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is clearly written for kids, but ever so often they'll pull something off. And you're like, this is not going to work, and it will kind of work.
Yeah.
Like there's one where he's on a foot chase with this Asian guy.